Right, hello. So this is a series I might do just to kind of, to be fair, partly for myself, just to save some videos that I kind of like.
Make
So
them
this is Friday the
remember,
13th
Jason.
series. Now the thing to remember is
Make
these
them
are
suffer.
quite old videos, to be fair, when the game was still relatively kind of new, probably within its first year. So the first thing that a Jason will do, or at least I would do, is go to the phone box, so I don't want to ring in the police and trap it. Now, at this particular time, you could spam how many traps you actually put by a phone box. Some might consider this try hard, which I probably was at the time, to be fair, quite try hardy, but numerous traps around the phone, the fuse for the phone box. And that was the play back then. You can't do that, and now they've changed it. And that was one very unlucky Tiffany who just jumped out the window while I was waiting, coming around the corner. That can happen, especially down there. This is a particularly good map for Jason's, to be fair. But it's not a good map, but good RNG I had on this, because if you've got the phone box by packing up rods, this is a fantastic map. And then there's a car there. To be fair, you really don't have to move all that much. Somebody just shot me from the doorway, or around by the doorway. You probably heard them. But yeah, this isn't a bad loadout to have the car there and the farm where it was. So, trap placement, because you really want to try and control your objectives. So let's talk quickly about what Jason's abilities were. He can grab you, he can slash you, and he's got 4 abilities that are always on cooldown. He starts with 1, which is morph. He then gets sense. That allows him to see. Those are like the red auras. Anyone in a building, the building will light up red. Anyone out and about in the wilderness, and their auras will light up red. There are exceptions to that to some degree, which I'll try and get to if I can. And then he's got shift, which has just lit up, and shift is exactly this. This upsets me though, because that hitbox.
They want to hurt you, Jason. Don't let them.
I have no idea how he could have aimed right to in front from the steps and hit me when I was nowhere near them. But it is what it is. And in a bit, I'll do a nice little manoeuvre to try and defend myself from another shotgun blast, because I believe it's here. Yes, it is. So it nicely opens the door for me, gets ready to shoot me. Shift, miss with a gun, get the grab, but glitch time, and the game glitches out. What happened there was I double tapped X, and I was trying to get him with a door kill, and it causes a glitch whereby Jason's holding you, but he can't actually activate any of his kills. You'll see none of them are lit up in the bottom left hand corner. You can bring up his map. The only way to get out of this glitch at the time was to either walk the character into the water so they could swim away, or get smacked and lose your kill. At the end of the day, for the game to continue, it had to happen. But it's unfortunate because you did lose. You have lost the kill there. I think they've fixed that kind of bug now. She just no, that was a Vanessa, wasn't it? No point trying to chase a Vanessa around, really. They're far too quick. Well, you've got to chase them around at some point. The same actually goes for whatever his name, Chad. Same really goes for Chads, to be fair to them. They have high speed stats. Counsellor stats are, some of the counsellor stats are really important in this game. These are 2 of the fastest. We get a nice kill sequence here. First we get Chad, the guy who shot me. And I like this sequence because it looks
They deserve to die, Jason.
And it must be horrible, to be fair, and you should have got out, but the trip failed at the worst moment. But now we get a nice image of Vanessa burning in a fire and Chad still on it. I love that image. In fact, I forgot it is.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die. Make them suffer.
So there's somebody over there. That's just sense. And I think I use stalk here. I didn't talk about stalk. So stalk, it really quietens down. Jason runs around with the music, and you can usually hear when he's about, so you know to hide. Stalk switches all that off. I do have a very short video on how stalk can really benefit you, but it is quite short. But I didn't use it properly. So I don't think there's many people left in this now, and I'm trying to figure out where some of them might be. So here we have an AJ, and we just slash her to death. And the fact that we caught her early,
Hunt them down and make them pay.
This Jason has extra damage off his swings, so he'll cause you to limp sooner. The only time Jason can really keep up, even the jogging ones, even the ones that can technically run, generally the only way he can keep up with the majority of survivors is if he's got them limping. That's even some of the slower ones, to be fair. If they've got a normal sprint, even the slowest ones, they'll generally outrun him, and they'll have to use shift to catch up and morph. The idea is not really to chase them. I know this better now than I did then. The idea is not really so much to chase them, but to actually use the shift and the morph to cut people off, figure out where they're going and where they're heading, and then get there before them. Ideally by that time they'll be out of a lot of their stamina, because the game does have a stamina element to it, and they'll be winded and out of breath, and you'll have a much easier time catching up with them like that than if they've got all their stamina and they're sprinting about. So cutting them off is far better of an option. Here we have this Tommy, who does give me a bit of a run around, to be fair. Thing to mention, you'll see right here, is a knife.
They want to hurt you,
Is
Jason.
not the only way to get a Jason's grab. You can wiggle out of it. In fact, somebody does later on in this match. I think it's still the Tommy. But generally, for a lot of counsellors in this game, if they don't have good strength and composure, or combination of the two, a Jason's grab is generally a death sentence if you don't have a knife. A knife is the only surefire way to make sure you don't die from a Jason grab in this game. Now, Tiffany's are kind of quick, so again, really don't know I should be chasing with this car. I know a technique to deal with cars now that I didn't know at the time when I was playing this, and it wouldn't be doing this. It wouldn't be trying to swerve around like that. What you should really try and do in a situation like that is actually just shift into the car, and see where they go. Sometimes they'll continue running around the car. If you're just in against the car and you're not actually going anywhere, and they presume that you are, they've got to make a choice to go left or right or round. If they carry on running around, you can just come out, you can just slightly tilt your angle, come out and grab them. The only time you have to change is if they decide they're not going to chance that risk and just run completely away. But there's every chance that you'll see that and can go after them. So at this point, I think it's just a Tommy left. He doesn't give me a massive run around, but he does keep me going for at least 2 to 3 minutes, I think. So right now he's using firecrackers to kind of distract me, and it's worked, to be honest. Hi Chad. Here he is again, and he does actually do a fairly decent job of running me around. Well, actually, I should have had him sooner. He's used his knife. To be Tommy, he's already died once, to be fair. I don't know if it was the Tiffany at the beginning. But here, again, another kind of glitch. Because the rock's there, I don't get any procs to do any of my kills, which gives him all the time he needs to just wiggle out of my grab. So that's 2 lifesavers this time he's had. He might as well have had 2 pocket knives as opposed to 1. So he's getting some items off the dead bodies, why not? And that's trying to put him off, but it didn't actually work out for me. All I did was lose him. And he's over there. And he's climbed in. So that's sense again at work. Now, a little thing to say about sense from a more in-depth point of view. Sense at the beginning of the game, right up until the point where Jason gets his rage ability, is really useful, and hiding is really useful. Like in the building, presumably in that building somewhere, there's probably a bed or a wardrobe. If you're hiding in a wardrobe or under a bed, and Jason uses his sense ability to try and highlight you, before he's got his rage, so at the beginning of the game, that building won't light up. It won't turn all red because you're hiding. However, after he's got rage, and you'll know when he's got rage, that doesn't apply anymore. Hiding doesn't work anymore.
Yes.
The rage will still show up. The sense will still highlight the building after he's got rage. You'll know when he's got rage because you'll hear his mother laugh.
But it's time to come home now.
Again, that's something I didn't know at the time when this was made. Anyway, so that is my first part to my Friday the 13th past videos. I'm going to try and probably do some newer ones actually, so you can see what the game is like now to what it was like then. It essentially is going to look exactly the same, but obviously there's points to be made with what's actually changed and so on. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed that.